Okay, it's actually recording this time. Okay, anyway, this video is clearly coming to you from the outside. And it was recently raining, and I have no chairs back here. So I'm holding the laptop on my lap while sitting on a crate. It's a good time. I like it. Anyway, so I wanted to get out of the house. So I went to my backyard. It's the best spot to go. Anyway, yeah, so I wanted to do one outside because it's been getting nice out, and I needed to spend some time outside. So, yeah. Sorry, that's like my house. So, sorry, my functional like brain, like the camera's moving this way, but you have to move this way. Da, da, da. It's like backing up a car. You have to turn the wheel the other way, and like I don't know, it's complicated. So anyway, so this video is about childhood and my childhood and what I experienced. And I'm pretty sure. Oh no, sorry, never mind. I thought I saw my roommate, but it's not my roommate. Anyway, so yeah, I want to talk about like my childhood and how I felt about it, and I think that it's an important topic to discuss, and I've seen other people discuss it, and so I thought, why not just jump on the bandwagon? But seriously, I think it's important. I'm sorry if the laptop moves a lot while like I shift and wave everything. Anyway, so I had a very interesting childhood. I honestly didn't. I had like friends, but I didn't have like a huge group of friends. I don't really know how many people did. I was kind of a strange little child. And I don't really think people knew how to deal with that. So yeah, I have 4 younger brothers, and my parents got divorced when I was in the 4th grade, like the middle of the 4th grade, and my mom moved to Texas. So I grew up with my dad and my 4 brothers, and my grandparents helped us a lot and all that stuff. So I definitely had a huge male influence, and that was actually one of the things that really made me stop and think. It was like, am I feeling more masculine because I just grew up around a bunch of men? You know, do I feel like a boy because I grew up around a bunch of men? Or is this, you know, do I feel like I'm trying to align myself to something that was the only example that I really had? And I don't. I am confident, and I know that this is how I would have been regardless of what had happened. In fact, I actually think it would have gone differently had my parents not gotten divorced, but you know, I think that it still would have, and I don't question it at all. And because I still have feminine things that I do, I'd still say that's super sweet. I'm like, no, that's so sweet of you, or you know, some shit like that. And like, I don't know, I can't help it, but I'm not gonna try like to shove down my femininity because of the fact that I'm trying to be more masculine or something. I'm male as you fucking want to be. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so I kind of feel like I missed out on something. I feel like I definitely missed out on a huge portion of my life. I mean, the first 20 years of my life, I was like supposed to be living as a girl. And I didn't really fit into any of the social roles that a girl would typically fill, but and it's not that I really tried either one, but I know that had I grown up as a cis male, my life, I think, and anybody that's trans, if you'd grown up as cis, it would have been completely different. But I mean, I just think about like high school and how there was a lot of self-consciousness and, you know, not self-esteem. That was what I'm looking for. My self-esteem was very low. I didn't really, like, I had friends, but they were outside of the school. So when I was at school, I didn't really ever talk to anybody. I'll be honest, I did spend some lunch periods in the bathroom. I was that kid, and I don't, like, it sucks. I actually remember one particular time, I was in a bathroom that was larger. It probably had like 7 or 8 stalls or something, and there's like, you know, the handicap stall at the very end, and I went in there, and I was legitimately like eating my lunch in there. It's sad, but it's true. Like, it wasn't all the time, but sometimes I just wouldn't really feel like being around anybody, and I didn't want anybody to see me eating alone. I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I just went in there. It was like private. It's like the only place at high school I could get that's privacy. And I do remember these girls like coming in and then figuring out that I was in there, because I would always try to like hide really well, you know. I'd like lift, I think I would try to lift my feet up off the ground, you know, and shit like that. And they found out that I was in there, and they thought that I was just like sitting in there listening to them talking, or I don't know, something, and they threw wet wads of paper towels over the wall at me. Like, they didn't come over and directly in front of the stall, but it wasn't that hard. It's in the very back of the room, so all you really have to do is lob it. And I mean, I don't know why they felt the need to do that, but they did. But I am confident that, you know, had I grown up as physically male, I would have, honestly, I think that my childhood would have obviously would have been different. But the tricky thing is I can't necessarily say that it would have been better. I definitely think that in some ways it would have been better. I think that there would have been things that would have been easy for me to deal with, because I wouldn't have to deal with what's going on in my head, what's going on with my body, you know, ignoring things, not feeling confident in myself. You know, there were several reasons behind that, but I mean, one of the main ones was it's like I didn't feel comfortable in my body. I realized that I don't really mind, honestly, being like overweight to an extent. I mean, I've always kind of been big, and I always make jokes. It's like, I don't get cold, which isn't true. I got blubber, and I don't know. I think it's amusing. And actually, what's really amusing is when you make fat jokes, and then when I make fat jokes about myself, and then people get like weirded out because they're like, whoa, hey, now don't hate on yourself. And I'm like, no, it's funny. Anyway, that's off topic. But I realized that there's a huge difference between males being overweight and females being overweight, and males overweight are way more accepted than females overweight, and it's so stupid. But I realized that part of the reason, and it's not because of that I was like upset about being overweight, it was just the fact that it was like an overweight female body. That's what upset me about it, you know. Overweight male body, Anyway, but I don't really feel like it would have necessarily been any better. I think that, like I said, some parts would be better, and I don't really think any parts would necessarily be worse. I just think that other parts would not have been as good. I kind of struggled this for a while, and I mean, sometimes I get really pissed off about it. Honestly, like, sometimes I just am, livid. Like, I'm so frustrated with the fact that I missed out on so much, and I honestly do feel like something was ripped away from me, and I was not allowed to have something that I was supposed to, and that I feel like that is not okay. But there's nothing that I can do about it, and I realized that, and I had to deal with this some way. And so I tried to look for the good in how I grew up, and I mean, I had, like, you know, I had good times, I had a good life and all of that stuff. But I realized I tried to look at the benefits of growing up as female, and not necessarily, even, like I said, not fitting into female social roles, but I mean, having a female body and interacting with females and going to the girls' bathroom and all that stuff, and I gained a lot. I know what periods are like, and they suck balls. And now, whenever my girlfriend in the future, hopefully near future, I don't know. Anyway, whenever my girlfriend in the future has her period, I'm gonna be like, I will do anything that you want, because I know how much that sucks, and I legitimately know. I legitimately understand. Excuse me. I feel like I was able to be more compassionate and more motherly and more nurturing and sweet and all of these things because of the fact that I am a female, quote unquote. I feel like being raised as a boy, I would not be allowed that. In my family, that's not the case at all. Like, there wasn't like, you're not acting masculine enough or you're not acting feminine enough in my family. I mean, I think if anything, my mom wanted to do, you know, like, girly stuff with me, but I mean, eventually she realized that I wasn't really into it, and so we just found other things to do. So that was really cool. But I learned a lot from growing up as female, and I feel like that portion of my life is over now, obviously. I'm starting hormones, I have changed my name, all of these things. And so somehow I can't completely regret, growing up female, because otherwise, like, if I don't, I'm not going to be okay with it. Like, but I can't live the rest of my life being upset about the first 20 years of my life because of the fact that I didn't grow up as a male. We don't have ideal situations all the time. And again, like I said, I do feel like I was denied something that I rightly deserve. But at the same time, I think that it gave me a completely different perspective on life. I think that it gave me different attributes. Is attributes? Yeah. I thought it's tribute. I don't know. It gave me different qualities. And like, it allowed me to express myself in a way that I don't think males are normally allowed to express themselves. And it gave me an inside look into the female world that not many males have. And even though I really didn't have a great look into the female world, to be completely honest, like, I was not very girly. I still don't really understand what's going through girls' heads half the time. Like, not even lying. Like, sometimes, why the fuck did you just say that? You know? But, so yeah. So I kind of just had to come to terms with the fact that it's not like I can't go back and relive the last 20 years. So, whatever. But anyway, I'm going to get going because this video is 11 minutes long, which I feel is justified because this is a very important topic, but I don't want to hold you here for too long. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, other trans people, do you feel like you lost part of your childhood? Are you upset about it? Or did you come to terms? You know, what do you think about it? And I think that it's something that's very important to be discussed and to understand. And I think that it's totally okay if you feel pissed off about the fact that you didn't get the childhood you want. And it's totally okay if you're like, that's whatever. I lived a great life and it doesn't matter if I was male or female. I think that it's totally okay to be upset about it. You know, it's part of dealing with the whole thing. So, but anyway, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later.